I want to build a team of some bad people who can do some good.
What are you really up to?
Flag, it's a need to know.
Thanks for watching another Slice of SciFi video review. I'm Noah Richmond.
And I'm Daren Galsvig.
We are talking today about Suicide Squad, the much hyped new DC Universe film, the film that is here to rescue the DC film universe from the so-so reactions that came from Batman versus Superman.
And Man of Steel, too. So.
And Man of Steel, yeah. A film that has certainly been much anticipated for a number of months. When it started out, I actually was kind of excited. Of course, both of us went in very excited to see this movie. And I was excited to see these different characters being introduced. A lot of them are not so well known. Some of them are better known. But either way, it was just cool to get a bunch of new heroes that you haven't really been on the screen before, and getting some of their backstory and having them introduced what their abilities are, and now you're getting this person's story and that person's story, and then this is all going to come together, and it's going to be some interesting mission that you get to see them all go on together. And so I was very engaged by the build-up. I was excited by the build-up. I was thinking that I was really enjoying the film. And then once it actually got going, I felt like there was just no chemistry at all. I didn't care about any of the characters. I hated the new Joker.
Yeah.
I thought there was not enough development of the other characters, and then too much time spent on Joker and Harley Quinn, which I just feel have been overdone in pop culture. I'm just tired of them as it is, and then to have them be made so central in this movie when the movie's not even really about them. It just, so there was that annoyance, but then also that it just felt all over the place. It didn't cohere. Once you come back to the mission that they're on, it's completely generic. The demon taking over the world, or you have to stop it, or the world's going to be completely destroyed by some generic demon that you've seen in so many countless other movies and animations and.
So you liked it? No.
Yeah. So anyway, right. In summary, I was excited going into it, and it built me up thinking this was going to be something, and then I wound up hating it.
Yeah.
I absolutely wound up hating where it went.
Yeah. I felt I was pretty upset about it, even about 30 minutes into the movie. I just was thinking, I just want to get the hell out of this movie, just leave, because it was pissing me off. First of all, I don't understand why DC ever went in the direction that it did to make the Suicide Squad. It was like a risk, because they're not a known commodity outside of the comic community. And I'm not saying it's not good to do it. I mean, it's always worth a risk. We saw what they did with the Guardians of the Galaxy. That was a good payoff. And
I'm sure Warner Brothers had that in mind.
Oh, sure.
When they greenlit it.
And we could argue all day about their choice of actors, Will Smith. I just think that I was, like you, I was excited about the movie itself, only because, number one, I bought into the hype. I drank the Kool-Aid. The trailers looked kind of cool. It wasn't being directed by Zack Snyder, and that was a plus anyway.
Right.
I can't say I'm really aware of David Ayer's work. I haven't seen Fury, but at least it seemed like he had his hand in a lot of different movies that he had written in and was a writer for, and it seemed pretty encouraging. So yeah, I was excited about the movie, but I just couldn't believe. I just remember telling myself, this has got to get better. I mean, the way it started off, you introduced each character in the group to give you a little backstory, and that was kind of cool if badly handled. The editing was horrendous. It's like two people were editing the movie. One was, if you want to ever see how a movie badly it can be edited, this is a movie that you can watch on continuity alone. It just dragged on, and it was just not fun.
Like slipshod all over the place?
Well,
or?
just like tempo. Like in the beginning, there's a couple sequences where there was all on tempo. It was crisp. It was on point, and then the scenes just went to where it was just dragging, and there was no chemistry between the actors. Now, if that's because the director forced that on them and made it a bad environment to work in, whether the story was bad, I don't know. It's just not a good movie, and I don't know how DC's going to recover from this one if they in fact do.
So you were saying though that you were actually finding it like you wanted to get up and walk out.
Mm-hmm.
Could you say like what specifically was irking you? Was it the characterization? Was it the?
I just didn't care. I was like thinking, well, I could be doing this right now. And I was wanting to walk out because I was so pissed off that DC dropped the ball again on this. And it should have worked. You had free reign to do something with characters that are not known in people's minds, and had a little humor and had a little fun with it.
Yeah, that was that is certainly my prime criticism. Is I felt like, okay, you've built up these characters, you've introduced these characters, you've built them up, and then now you're not going to have any fun with them. Everything is just still Zack Snyder, Man of Steel, BVS, dour. Serious, overly serious. It doesn't mean everything has to be a comedy, but ultimately, when you get right down to it, a superhero film, at some point, you should be willing to be a superhero film. Just have some cool powers that you whip out, and
even the times
you're not telling a Holocaust documentary.
Yeah. Well, even the times where there was supposed to be humor. It just didn't feel sincere, and it just felt ill-timed. Again, it could have been an editing sequence. But the point is that it just didn't feel real. And at that point in the movie, I was already done with it, and I didn't really care about if it's funny or not. Right. The scenes that had humor in them had a better effect on the trailer than it did in the actual movie. Yeah. So, I know that the movie has to do well for DC, obviously. And I'm not hoping that it fails, but then again, some part of me, because Zack Snyder is attached to this movie. Yeah, right. And I don't know that it's him, the reason behind this, but they just haven't had any success all the way from Green Lantern, Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, and now this. It's just, right. It sucks to be a DC fan right now. And maybe some people will feel different about it. I would be, maybe I'm not going to suggest that if they would be wrong about it, because maybe, everyone has their own likes and dislikes. Yeah.
Anyway, so my advice, skip Suicide Squad, the movie, go see Batman Assault on Arkham. If you really want to see Suicide Squad, go stick with the animated.
Any animated, even Justice League Doom, that's a good one. Yeah. But anyway, stay away from it. That's
your 2 cents.
Oh my God, stay away.
That's our thoughts on Suicide Squad, and thank you for watching Slice of SciFi.
See you.